Because there it is, you are in the place where everybody could find a contradiction. Reconstruction of how Tito is. Tito's is the most district inside Basilicata, which is part of this country. But it takes only the third part of this land. It's not then the most important and center functional level cities that you can find, probably also because the technologies is underdeveloped. But what makes me really attached to the people that lived here is their incredible manifestation of affection. As soon as I get inside the restaurant, I discovered that these more people are living out from the food and very simple business family industry. Function of their own activities can tremble and crave to make the entire human race to respect the cycle of events. Basilicata is a land where everything is possible, where you should reflect and retire for a moment of your life by back. That's because everyone entering this any place would run risk each day to be suffocated by the fossil fuels. For everybody that wants to be polluted and spoiled during their ordinary life only because they have to take out 50 pounds or 50 cents from their own working experiences for the working farm activities. Acquire some information about the place, about the historical ancient origin. You can just knock on the door of some people living here, find a beautiful and warming sit, and try to listen to their story. Or if you want a tour guide, I will give you exactly the most important sites of this exploring area that you can effectively try to discover on your own. Once of you could think about the Parco Nazionale del Pollino in the south, extends around Monte Pollino. Basilicata towns and 4 nature reserves can be found apart, part of which goes into Calabria, and Matera and the coast towns of Maratea and Metaponto can be reached by train, although services is fairly limited. From these towns, there's bus service to smaller towns nearby, but don't even try to think to work with the transport service because they are not as efficient as a car could be. Found their main location in this place. If you're going somewhere, don't miss its most famous festival because that is known as Festa della Madonna Bruna, which happened on July the 2nd. And the Monte Scaglioso is a hill town that was the center of the Norman Kingdom of Sicily. And the top site is in Monte Scaglioso during the 11th and 15th centuries abbey of San Michele Arcangelo. And in August, Festa of San Rocco, which is a colorful local festival with religious parade and fireworks. Bernalda was famous because Francis Ford Coppola became the lively citizen with his small, fantastic historic residence castle, exactly 50 kilometers distant from here. It is very interesting restaurant, bistro, bars and shops, which is make an excellent base for visiting Matera, Krakow, Metaponto, and the rest of the coast cities. But to be perfectly clear, if I give you this name, Metaponto, and the Archaeological National Museum of Greek Temple, if I give you the name of Polycoro and the Lido in it, and the Greek Santorum of Heraclea, which is outskirt of town, if I give you the Stiliano place, or to give you a perfect explanation of Carlo Levi's exiliation in Aliano, you will think, okay, I will go there, and I will try to run across the Amalfi Coast and probably discover the Rio Nero in Vulture, try to find my place and go through the group of crowns and other strange shapes that I found, or resilience, or even better, how do you call it, landscape and natural environment in the national park, you'll think, I should go there. I should go visit Stigliano, Beralda, Krakow, Poliforo, Monte Scaglioso, Maratea, Metaponto, the Ionian Sea, the Rionero Vulture. But what you don't know about Basilicata is the Greenmentum area. What you probably didn't know before is how Basilicata was built, how it's structured, how citizens live in here, how they found really unsettling, what they found really impossible to cope with. Have you ever heard that there were a land construction that started exactly 10 years ago, or better 7 years ago, and they didn't finish, and they practically objected and forced the people to use a certain kind of transportation, a certain kinds of service, because it was impossible for them to circulate with their own car because of the construction of a dam or a dike or either other barrier and barricade that were completely collapsing and dividing the area in two parts. Because Basilicata is a land where a lot of animal activists are surrounding the template and the perfect scenario, but nobody is interested on the living expectation of these people, on how they cope with their own life, on their struggle, on their efforts, on the way they live on their own wages, on their shoulder strength. And that's why we came here, in a place where Greenmentum, at least museums, continue going on with this declination, with this manifestation, and we can say extradition and transfer of information in order to transmit to the rest of the past and people who exactly to the next generation the right information about this land. I want to document the most beautiful part of Basilicata because I want to give you a sort of card tourist visit that you can find in even other guide. I want to give you the thrill, the sensation, the emotion, the color, to enter in a place that you have never ever heard about, and see how the man can potentially ruin this land with his own strength, with his metallic settlement, with his disgusting craving for success, the disgusting craving and continuous conspicuous growing of business around it, without taking careful attention of the living soul, of their own words, of this extent, which gives us a corner, in a restricted corner of our soul, give us the scent of the real life, of the poorness, of the magnificence of the human race, and on the perfect creation, on the simplicity of a country-yard man, on the real value that stands upon and behind the back and the courageous, hard-working hands of people that matters, of people that millions of years ago made the difference.
I present you a place where people collapse into a very restricted environment, where the power of imagination was completely stopped by the hand of the man, of the employer who gets into this and take out the goods in order to serve the country, in order to reach the people that are owning this land. But what I can tell you perfectly is that this is the misconception ever. This place is full of natural and beautiful landscape as well. The misconception is that it's not wholly a part of the continent. It's a harsh land where everybody is going and turning into a perfect stranger. Breath.
By him during my travels, I discovered one of the most ancient oak as existent in the we can say creation of nature as well. In the entire possible scenario of creation, we found a Hulk that is so white and impaired, so much monumental that it makes me reflect upon the power.
Literally falling into lethargy, is trying to spoil everything out from the human being. There's nothing perfect by a breath of fresh air. And even the oldest owner in his camp, completely isolated from the rest of the world, taking care of his sheep, of his own dogs, is contradicted in front of my camera. He doesn't recognize the reality. He doesn't know where exactly we are going to go with this documentary, because that's what it is. It's a place where everyone else could explain to you, which means geographically, for the most of the beholders, of the eyes of the beholders. But for me, this place has some particular personal significance. Let's get back to how normal documentary should start with. Let's get back to the fact that we are narrating news, and we are narrating about a land that you don't know. I guess you found this building in a million covers, but exactly where are we? Basilicata, also known by its ancient name was Lucania, is a southern Italy bordering on Campania to the west, to the north and east, where you can find Puglia.
We can enjoy a cup of tea, sitting and tasting the pasta of a very kind and affectionate and tender lady. We can open our eyes to the beautiful of the stones. And even when we deprived our eyes from the most perfect seduction, we can find a quiet yard to give ourselves a break.
Infrastructure contributes to the gross value added of the secondary sector, with 64% of the total, while the building sector contributes to the 20% remaining. But the fact is that the real emperor of this place are not the Byzantians who governed like in the 11th century this country. Now, everything is collapsing and completely ruled by the rich politician and democratic parliament, who thinks to be a bit democratic, as now democratic is completely collapsed. The oil remain the particular most important ingredients, and the petroleum, which give raises to a certain concern for the population. Traction which may manufacture alarming. At the same time, the activities which completely ruined the human organs and the human energy spending and concentrated onto trying to extract the oil, and the any employers who run the risk every time to be completely flooded by the instrumentation and any implants inside the protected area designation, becoming subject of danger. In 1993, UNESCO declared the Sassi di Matera a World Heritage Site. Meanwhile, Fiat Automobiles established a huge factory in Melfi, leading to jobs and upsurge in the economy. In the same year, the Pollino National Park was established. When it comes to Basilicata, to me, there's nothing we can actually say about the chronological order, about these chronicles, about this history, which is really fascinating. But Basilicata is a region but the communication era was very difficult until modern times, and became one of the least developed areas of Italy, but one of the most resourceful and one of the most authentic Tyrrhenian treasure we have in our land.
Very apocalyptical, and we can say completely forgotten land. And once we go away from here, we can still perceive the strangest and secluded and very, we can say, stubborn and gloaming faces of the people staring at us, surrounded, a bit suspicious, our camera, but now without smiling, and to enter into a perfect community ruled by any god.